Hello, Excellence family. Happy Monday. Today is Mortgage Monday. I had a few moments to catch up with Madeline King, our mortgage loan officer at Xcellence Mortgage. Good morning, Madeline. How are you?
Good morning, Kristina. I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Doing good. The hustle and bustle of the holidays is amongst us.
Yes.
I'm sure you've seen our agents busy and balancing a lot of family and holiday activities. So this month in general tends to be pretty hectic for most people. We want to remind our agents that we are here always as a resource, specifically on the mortgage side. Madeline works with a variety of different lenders with Xcellence Mortgage that can help assist and get some creative financing solutions in place. Today, I just wanted to talk with you, Madeline, about a 3-2-1 buy down. You may have heard it out there in the market, and I think it's always great to get any myths on this product or program kind of clarified to know how our agents and their clients can better utilize it.
Absolutely. So yes, we have talked about this before. It is very popular and we're seeing great results with this lately. Everybody is on board with this type of scenario or transaction, I should say, to help both buyers and sellers. So the 3-2 buy down basically is so you can lower your rate. The buyer will lower the rate for the first year by 3%, the second year by 2%, and then the third year by 1%. So how that works is basically whatever your savings are, if your interest rate, let's suppose, is 5%. So the first year, the interest rate will be 2%. The next year it'll be 3%. The next year it'll be 4%. And that
That's
helps a lot of
huge.
buyers feel more comfortable getting back into the market with this type of payment security that they know they're going to have for the next 3 years. Everybody was used to seeing rates at 3% for some time. So, when they're back up at 5.5, yeah, they get a little nervous. So this is enticing borrowers to get back into the buying market again. And in turn, that helps sellers because, people still need to sell their homes. And even though the market has slowed down and shifted a little bit, it now opens up this opportunity for buyers to be more welcoming into the financing of a home again. And so it helps sellers in turn, okay? And sellers are, willing to be able to, welcome any buyers that they can, obviously. So the way that this works is you can basically you calculate what your savings are for the first year, second year, third year, and whatever that totals up is the contribution that you need from the seller. So right now we've seen where sellers are lowering their sales price because they have to get, a buyer in, and this opportunity, instead of having to lower their sales price, will allow them to, instead of lowering, they contribute, and then it helps them to get their property sold and the buyer to get into the property and feel comfortable again about, their monthly payments, as everybody is a little bit insecure about that right now because the market seems to be a little unstable. So this has been very helpful with a lot of buyers and sellers because it does motivate both sides to get on board back with a buy and a sell. So we're seeing a lot of positivity around it, a lot of success with when the agents bring a buyer to a seller who's pre-qualified, who feels confident, who's happy to be able to do this, and the seller doesn't have to lower his sales price. So does that make sense? Do you understand how that? Yeah. Because I know some people get confused with the program, but it's really very basic, simple. It helps both sides. Sellers are willing to, be able to lower, or I should say, have a seller concession, and the buyer helps him to feel comfortable with this purchase again. So
now that you mentioned that, I would think it'd be a really good idea to talk with our sellers about it so they're on board with this solution, so to speak, in these times. I think 2 questions that would pop up if I was a seller would be, or even the buyer in this case, what happens in year 3 when that rate goes adjustable? What is it tied to? How different is it than today's market? And then is there a prepayment penalty? Because let's say I'm in year 4 and I decide the market conditions are better. As a buyer, I'd like to refinance or perhaps sell. Are there any restrictions there?
Great questions. No, there are not any restrictions. This works for primary and secondary homes, so there's no prepayment penalty on either of these. And what happens with this is not an adjustable rate, so it's just a buy down. So after year 3, your rate goes back to the original rate that it was when you originally financed. So when in this example, we started at a 5%. So after year 3, it will go to a 5% again.
Okay, so as a buyer, you always know what you'll end up with, even in year 3. You're not getting into anything variable. You know what your rate will be. Year 3,
Yes.
it'll be amortized then at the 5%. You'll already know what your payment will be. So you're not going into the dark. You know exactly.
Correct. Yes, you're always going to know what your payment is. These are fixed rates. They're not adjustable, so you don't have to worry about that. There's simply a buy down from the original rate to the time. Yeah, the first year, second or third year. So it's really a great program. We're seeing a lot of really positive results from it. So we're happy that this came out there and it helps, the market get back into position again and get, buyers comfortable with knowing their payment is going to stay low for the first 3 years.
And they always have options in year 3. They can decide to keep the house, they can sell the house, they can refinance when rates are more favorable. So I think just knowing that they have a plan in the intermediary is a great tool. And
absolutely, that stays the same, with any. And keep in mind, this also works for conventional and FHA. So it's open to both, to both loan programs. So it's great. It really is.
So it's flexible. It's a great resource for both buyer and seller. And I always encourage our agents, if you have a loan scenario, you want to run something by us, if your buyer or seller has a question, whether it's rate related, program related, just putting a plan in place, just want to run something by us. We have this excellent new link, xcellencemortgage.com/apply. It allows your client to book a time, whether it is to get pre-qualified, ask questions, run a scenario, simply ask about a program you've heard out there. Please, Madeline is very knowledgeable. We have many, many resources available. I encourage you to reach out. She's always a great support, and I encourage you to reach out to her. We're here to assist you. Agent Concierge here to help, and Madeline is always available with many of the programs that are changing and shifting throughout this market. So I really appreciate your time today, Madeline. I thank you so much for always being there for us. And again, don't hesitate to reach out. We're here to help.
Absolutely.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Have a wonderful week. Bye, Madeline. Thank you.
Bye. Have a great week, everyone.